Welcome into this edition of DuckTV Sports. I'm Matt Scott, and alongside me is Taylor Foster.
Another busy week here at Oregon with a big game for the football team in Utah, a Washington road trip for women's volleyball, and we say farewell to our first fall sport as the women's soccer team concludes its season.
The Oregon football team traveled to Salt Lake City to take on the number 17 ranked Utah Utes. A victory would guarantee the Ducks a spot in the Pac-12 title game. Kalen Clay was about to put the Utes up 14-0, but he dropped the ball before he crossed the goal line. The Ducks recovered, and Joe Walker, behind a convoy of Ducks, went 100 yards to the house to tie up the game. Mariota finished the game with 239 yards through the air and 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. He also led the team in rushing with 114 yards and 1 TD on the ground.
The 51-27 win over the Utah Utes solidifies the Ducks' Pac-12 North title, stamping their ticket to Levi Stadium to take on the Pac-12 South champions on December 5th in Santa Clara, California. But this celebration for the squad is muted by a series of devastating injuries suffered by members of Oregon's offense. 3 key Oregon starters suffered injuries during Saturday night's matchup. Corner Ifo Ekpre Olamu with a toe injury, center Hronis Grasu with what looked like a non-contact leg injury, and tight end Pharaoh Brown, who sustained a gruesome knee injury. Ifo is likely to return against Colorado, while the outlook for Grasu and Brown is not as bright. Matt, which one of these is a bigger loss for Oregon's offense, Pharaoh Brown or Hronis Grasu?
I have to think it's Pharaoh Brown. He's asked to do a lot for this team, not only pass catching but blocking. In the first couple games this season, you didn't really see him on the stat sheet, and that's because he was doing a lot of blocking and still making a difference. However, the UCLA game was his coming out game on the receiving end. He led the team with 5 catches, 84 yards, and 1 touchdown. So far in 2013, he had more than doubled his receiving yards on the season. He ended the season so far with 420 yards.
I have to disagree. I believe Grasu was a bigger loss to this patchwork line. Firstly, in 2012 and 2013, he was honored with a first-team Pac-12 All-Conference title. In 2013, he was first-team All-American. He's obviously one of the main leaders on this squad. And just to add to that, the adjustments that are going to be needed to add to his snaps, with Doug Brenner coming in, we obviously saw a shift. There was a lot of low snaps, a lot of snaps that Mariota just couldn't handle. But fortunately for the Ducks, they do have a bye week to attempt to recover from this Saturday's tremendous losses. Oregon football was not the only team in action over the weekend. Volleyball was also on the road, going head-to-head with Washington schools up north. On Friday, the 11th ranked Ducks traveled to University of Washington to take on the number 2 Huskies. The Ducks were unable to make up ground in standings, falling in just 3 sets. This is only the second time this season the Ducks have been taken down in 3, the other occurring in their outing against Stanford. But the one bright spot from this game was Liz Brenner. Recording 5 kills and 10 digs, Brenner became the fourth Oregon player to join the 1,000 club.
Coming off of 2 straight losses to the top 2 teams in the country, the Ducks desperately needed a win against the Cougars, who were 1-12 in conference. But Wazoo's not as bad as their record would indicate. They played the Ducks really well. The Ducks had a strong first set, but the second set was full of self-inflicted wounds that proved to be insurmountable for Oregon. After the break, the Ducks took the next 2 sets and the W.
Looking forward to this week's coming games, we'll send it to Emily Hogbro, who gives us an inside look at Oregon's matchups at Matthew Knight Arena.
Thanks, guys. I have your scouting report here from Matthew Knight Arena. This week, Oregon will play Arizona and Arizona State. Oregon has previously lost to Arizona State but beat Arizona. Now, the rankings for the Pac-12 is pretty close. Oregon is in 4th, Arizona in 5th, and Arizona State in 7th. Oregon will have to look out for Arizona's Maddie Kingdon, who had 25 kills and 30 digs against Stanford, leading Arizona into a 5th set against the Cardinal. Now, for the game against Arizona State, the Ducks should watch out for Macy Gardner, who had 22 kills against Cal. In addition, teammate Mercedes Binns had 11 kills. Gardner has played 9 matches this season with 20 or more kills. Blocking these 2 hitters will be key for beating Arizona State this time around. Now, what does this mean for the next 2 games? Oregon knows that Arizona State does play aggressive, but they should really be looking out for Arizona. Arizona was able to play to the 5th set against Stanford, while Oregon only played up to 3. From Matthew Knight Arena, I'm Emily Hogbro. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Emily. While Arizona did play Stanford tough, Ducks really had the Wildcats numbers, as Arizona was the Ducks' 7th sweep of the season. They only trailed in the first set. The first set, they didn't do so hot, hitting 170. Arizona doing even worse, hitting .01. In the second set, Oregon had 13 kills and 0 errors to go along with that. Third set, same story again, 13 kills, 3 errors. And I really think that they're going to be able to handle Arizona well once again.
Unfortunately, the Ducks did not fare as well against Arizona State the last time we saw them at home. After a successful first set, the Ducks did fall in 5 sets to ASU. This was mainly because of ASU's 21 team blocks, because Oregon kept spiking directly into blocks. A lot of this is due to a lack of team chemistry, and a common theme has been their inability to close after after the last Arizona State matchup, Liz Brenner commented on the team's inability to click on the court.
I think we played really well against Arizona on Wednesday, but just everything wasn't clicking all the way tonight. But you know, that happens. Arizona State's a very good team, and I think they played really hard tonight.
Looking forward to the coming Arizona games, finding chemistry on the court to close out games becomes crucial, as seeding will soon be determined.
Friday, the University of Oregon women's soccer team played in their final game of the season against in-state rival Oregon State. The Beavers were winless coming into Friday. OSU was able to find their second Pac-12 goal in the season. Unfortunately, it was an own goal by Riley Moore of the Oregon Ducks. Right before the halftime, Bree Pugh responded with a goal off of a botched corner. In the 84th minute of the game, freshman Abby Morrow got on the action and gave the Ducks the 2-1 lead and the victory. Unfortunately for Oregon, they do say goodbye to 9 seniors on the season. Cassidy Iwasta has more from Senior Day.
This Friday was the last game for the seniors on the women's soccer team. We had the chance to ask them a few questions about their time playing for the Ducks.
Over the 3 years, I guess. Just being with my teammates, I think you can't really pinpoint one, but you really grow as a person and as a teammate and as a friend.
Oh, there are so many great memories. It's hard to just pick one. I think, we reminisce all the time and laugh about the hard times, the good times, and mainly just the funny times. And it doesn't really hit you until it's over.
My favorite memory was my freshman year playing Santa Clara, because it was my first game starting, playing the whole 90 minutes, and then we went into overtime and we ended up tying them 0-0. And they were they were ranked really high, and I was just really excited.
My teammates.
Just showing up and laughing every single day with each other. That's something that is going to be hard to find again.
Just coming here every day and seeing each other, even if we're not as excited for practice as we should be, we're always happy to see each other.
To really lean on your teammates and have a good team culture.
Have fun. Always find that little girl inside to keep playing, because that's the most important.
If you want to play soccer in college, just go for it. There's places anywhere to play. Go for it.
Full of heart.
Crazy.
Speechless? I don't know.
Thanks, Cassidy. That's going to just about wrap it up for us in this edition of DuckTV Sports. For Taylor Foster, I'm Matt Scotton. Till next time, Eugene.
Yeah.